Life after 80 is often seen through a lens blurred by stereotypes: quiet, frail, forgotten. But beneath those cliches lies a deeper, more intricate reality. At The Power of Aging, we believe in telling the truths that aren't easy to speak aloud, but are essential to living fully in these years. This isn't about fear or resignation. It's about understanding, about facing reality with eyes wide open, and finding the wisdom and strength hidden in those truths. Truth number 1. The invisible weight of time's quiet drift. Aging is not just the passing of years, but the slow erosion of presence. You begin to notice the silence in conversations, the fading invitations, the subtle drift of faces you once called friends. It's not always death that takes people away. It's the gradual stretching of distance, life's many directions pulling apart what once felt inseparable. For many, this manifests as an invisible weight, loneliness that doesn't shout, but seeps in like a slow tide. The American Heart Association now recognizes loneliness as a health risk comparable to smoking. It's not just an emotional state. It's a silent epidemic that gnaws at the spirit. But here's the paradox. The very quiet that isolates us also calls for action. To connect means to step into vulnerability, to reach out when the world seems to have moved on. At The Power of Aging, we remind you that connection isn't a gift to be waited for. It's a power you still hold. A smile to a stranger, a call to an old friend, a new ritual that rebuilds your social world piece by piece. Because even at 80 and beyond, your heart beats loud enough to break the silence. Truth number 2. The fragility of the body, the resilience of the mind. Aging bodies tell stories, stories of endurance and change. But too often we see the bodies slowing as defeat, the loss of youthful vigor as a closing chapter. Yet this is where the mind's resilience must rise. Physical decline is real. An injury that once healed in days now lingers. Energy that once surged now flows more cautiously. But to surrender to fear is to shrink life itself. Philosopher Simone de Beauvoir said, "One is not born, but rather becomes, a woman." Similarly, aging is not just a process. It's a becoming. Becoming wise, becoming patient, becoming intimate with the rhythms of change. Movement, even slow and deliberate, is a form of rebellion against time's erosion. It's memory in motion, reminding your body of its capacities, its strength, and its freedom. The power isn't in turning back the clock, but in redefining what strength means: gentleness, persistence, and grace. Before we continue diving into these truths, if you find resonance here, please consider subscribing to The Power of Aging. Together, we navigate the realities of aging with honesty and hope, empowering each other every step of the way. Truth number 3. The complex dance of pride and help. As years advance, the gap between independence and dependence narrows. For many, the idea of needing help feels like losing something vital. It's not just about physical assistance. It's about identity, dignity, and pride. American culture deeply values autonomy, and asking for help can feel like a defeat. But there is profound courage in embracing vulnerability. Accepting support doesn't signal surrender. It signals wisdom. Eugene's story, a man who refused a walker for months before finally embracing it and moving forward, speaks volumes. In the interplay of pride and help lies a powerful truth. That true strength often shows itself when we allow others to be strong with us. Truth number 4. The silent fade into invisibility. One of the most profound struggles after 80 is not physical. It's being unseen. In a society that prizes youth and productivity, growing older often means becoming less visible, less heard, less acknowledged. You may find your voice drowned out in conversations, your experiences dismissed as outdated, your presence overlooked as if your story has already been told. This invisibility is not a reflection of your worth, but a societal blindness, an unconscious dismissal of wisdom and history encoded in every wrinkle and scar. Yet, as Audre Lorde reminded us, your silence will not protect you. There is a radical power in reclaiming your visibility. To speak your truth is to challenge a culture that sidelines elders. To share your memories, your insights, your laughter. This is revolutionary. At the Power of Aging, we celebrate every story told, every voice raised. Because in your voice is the blueprint of resilience, the map of lived experience. Remember, you are not the background noise of history. You are its pulse. Truth number 5, the uneasy relationship with time. When you reach 80, time no longer feels infinite. It morphs into a pressing, fragile gift, each day precious, yet heavy with the weight of all that remains undone. This is where regret often nests. Regret for missed moments, for unspoken words, for paths never taken. But here lies a secret that few dare to voice. Time after 80 is not just about looking back. It's about redefining what it means to move forward. Philosophers from Marcus Aurelius to contemporary thinkers urge us to embrace the present as the only moment truly ours. Purpose need not be grandiose. It can be found in the simple act of watering a plant, in the smile you give to a stranger, in the kindness you show yourself. In fact, purpose is perhaps the most potent elixir of vitality for those in their 9th decade and beyond. At this point, if these reflections resonate with your journey, please take a moment to subscribe to The Power of Aging. Your support fuels a community where age is not a limitation, but a gateway to deeper meaning. Truth number 6, the paradox of freedom and fear. Finally, aging brings a paradox. Freedom tempered by fear. The freedom from societal expectations, the liberation from many youthful anxieties, opens a new chapter of self-realization. Yet fear often shadows this freedom. Fear of loss, of loneliness, of being a burden. Navigating this paradox requires courage, not just to face external realities, but to wrestle with inner uncertainties. It is in this dance between fear and freedom that the essence of aging reveals itself. Choosing to live fully despite fear, to find joy even in small moments, to honor the body and spirit as they are, this is wisdom distilled. The journey after 80 is complex, layered with challenges and unexpected gifts. And as The Power of Aging continues to explore these realities, we invite you to join us, subscribe, share, and be part of a community that honors the depth and dignity of growing older. As we close this reflection on life after 80, there's one more profound truth to hold close. Truth number 7, the power of legacy. Beyond what we leave behind. Legacy is often misunderstood as what you leave for others after you're gone. Money, possessions, or accolades. But true legacy is the imprint of your presence, your values, your stories, and the way you've touched hearts. It's the quiet moments of teaching kindness, the laughter shared, the wisdom passed on through simple conversations. At this stage of life, legacy becomes urgent, not because time is running out, but because it's now fully in your hands. You have the power to shape how you'll be remembered, not by grand gestures, but by daily acts of love, forgiveness, and courage. The philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "To leave the world better than you found it is a worthy ambition." This is the legacy we can all embrace, no matter our age. In these years, the heart remains fierce, the voice remains necessary, and the story continues to unfold, page by page, moment by moment. At The Power of Aging, we know that aging is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new, profound chapter. It's a chapter written with grace, courage, and an unyielding spirit. Before we part, if these truths have spoken to you, please take a moment to subscribe and support The Power of Aging. Your presence here helps build a movement, where age is celebrated, where voices are heard, and where every life is honored. Because growing older is not a fading, it's a shining, and together, we'll light the way. Thank you for being part of this journey. Live it well.